In the words of Jose Mourinho, congratulations to Napoli on the Scudetto, and I will now run away. I know you guys are superstitious. I know you guys are superstitious. We got a full house here on the Calcio Guys tonight. Adriano, Gianni, Nicholas. We got Raff and Raff from the Napoli Rant. We got Carm from Napoli Club Toronto. All three guys we've had on before. All three guys, we enjoyed talking to you, and this episode is a special one because you guys got together yesterday. Probably one of the biggest Calcio meetups ever. Napoli meetup. Guys, you have to give me the details because I know it was hosted by Tri-State Napoli. Well, first of all, how you guys doing? Big 2-1 win in the Derby del Giannini. We'll talk about that later. How you guys doing?
I'm super great. I'm sure I can speak for all of us when I say that, though. And it was a great time last night.
At least Bizz can speak. I don't have half a voice, man, but that's how good it was yesterday. And you would think we actually did win the Scudetto yesterday. That's how crazy it was. I can imagine what it would look like if and when it does happen.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I'm like on cloud nine still from yesterday's activities. Just like on top of the win. The win is already great enough as it is, and then just having that experience with all these other people and getting to meet all these great guys. Just I literally could not have asked for a better day.
I'll piggyback in Carmine there. It was definitely, I think, the best part. I mean, aside from the win, which was the cherry on top, the best part obviously was just having this huge contingent of Napoli clubs all over North America. The boys flying in from Canada. We had our friends from DC area. We had West Virginia. We had Philly. We had obviously New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, the Tri-State Club, the Raffa and Raff Rant were on scene. CBS popped in and they were able to film us. So I'm not sure, but this must, as far as like Napoli goes, this has definitely got to be the biggest Napoli meet in history in North America. Now, I won't put my money on it because I'm just not sure, but I'm not aware of anything else.
We have some echo here. I know we're 6 on the call, so if we can mute each other and while the other one's talking, because we got some echo, but there's some technical difficulties. We never done 6. So you guys, I don't think we've ever done 6 on a call.
We're in like new waters, aren't we?
Yeah, this is a testing. 1 2 1 2. But Carm, I know Carm had something to say. And first off, before we continue, guys, just from the three of us, like, we honestly can't thank you enough. I know we'll get into all the thanks and the pleasantries later on in the episode, but Carm, coming. I know it was a short flight, but you and your boys from Toronto, making the trip down, coming back, getting on the show, the Raff and Raff Rant, they're going live, guys, in about an hour and a half, not even. So we honestly can't thank you guys enough for coming on to this crazy episode to speak about Napoli. But as Bizz was saying, kind of getting into the details of things, why don't you guys just, Carm, I don't know if you want to enlighten us, Rafa as well. I know Carm had his hand up, but if you want to just continue on how it was, what did you expect? Did this meetup exceed those expectations? Because from us looking from the outside in, man, just all the videos, the pictures, and you don't even need to be a fan just to appreciate, the get together of cultural fans, across North America, and especially us in the East Coast, repping East Coast.
Yeah, I mean, firstly, I wanted to say, like, off what Bizz said, thinking that this might be, as far as Napoli goes, the biggest meetup, possibly ever, and like internationally. I was actually doing research once prior, searching anything that I could. I was pulling Boolean searches, everything. I was going deep into it to find out, and I honestly could not find one time in which this happened. Maybe I didn't search hard enough, but I think this may have been the very first time that an event like this big has ever happened. Now, if somebody out there that's listening to this can prove otherwise, or please let me know, because it's great to have these things. But it was just, I don't know, just surreal. Just a surreal experience from start to finish, from the moment we got there on Saturday to the moment we left this morning. I mean, we could not stop talking about it, and it superseded all of our expectations. It really did. By like, it wasn't even close. By a country mile, it superseded it. Getting to Ribalta,
Yeah.
already we were there 2 hours before the game happened, before kickoff, and it was rammed. 2 hours prior to the game, already packed to the point where I was like, "Am I gonna get a seat? Like, what's gonna happen here?" And it just kept piling up and piling up. And I don't know. I didn't do an official count, but if I had to guess, somewhere between 160 to 180 at
Wow.
least. Like, at least. And that was just an eyeball count. It could have been more. And there was more people outside. It was just having that many people congregate in one place for one reason, just to all support the team. It was just like, I don't know. We've just met each other. We're all, finally meeting each other for the first time. But it's felt like we've known each other for years. Like, it's been a lifetime that we've known each other, all because of one team. And just that experience alone, to me, was mind-boggling. I don't know how to put it into words. I seriously don't know how to phrase this.
So Rispo's warning on his last show to get there for like 8:45 in the morning ended up being true for how packed it was going to be.
Raff has his hand up, so Raff, please take it away.
Unmute yourself.
There you go.
There we go.
Yeah,
There we go.
So as far as if there's been a meet like this in history, I could tell you, I can attest, because I'm a little older than you guys here. I can attest that for the 2 Scudetti in the 80s, there was a lot more of an Italian contingency. A lot of our nonno and a lot of our nonni and our parents got here more and more recently, in the 60s, 70s ish, right? My dad told me that for the first Scudetto, it was Morris Park in the Bronx. And for the second Scudetto, I was with him. It was at another cafe in the Bronx somewhere. There might have been Arthur Avenue, which is Little Italy in the Bronx. And there was, I remember the second one a little better than the first one, obviously. I don't even think I was at the first one, but the second one, like, there was a little parade. There were people in cars, beeping, going up and down the streets. My uncle was on top of an Astro van waving the flag. I'll never forget watching it at the cafe, watching Maradona send the ball into Baroni, boom, 1-0 to Lazio, to Napoli over Lazio, and then we win the Scudetto, and it was fun. But I can't tell you if it was that many people. I mean, I could ask my father and get back to everybody. But even he was taken aback. But he came with us yesterday. He was even taken aback. He couldn't stop talking about it. This is incredible, this and that. And maybe that is, maybe he's very like drawn to the fact that there's so many young kids now too. Everybody's kids are now into this club the way they were when he was our age, let's say, watching Napoli win the Scudetto. But yeah, as far as how big it is, I mean, this has got to be one of the biggest. Let's just put it this way. Representatives of CBS and Serie A were at our first meet at Ribalta, which was the Atalanta win in Bergamo. We had a meet there. We had people turned away there, and they were impressed they were so impressed by that they, decided to come, which was very short notice, and I can tell you the story about that too. But they decided to come to this meet, and there were a couple different people at Ribalta yesterday than there were in Bergamo. There was a camera crew and a field reporter, and they were so blown away. I don't know if you guys have seen CBS Sports Golazzo's social medias and Serie A English's social medias, but they have been blowing up all day long with nothing but jubilation, and it's only match day 20. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So you can imagine what kind of a party it would be for the Scudetto. But yeah, this has got to be one of, and not for nothing, we all have a hand in the Tri-State Napoli Club. We all have a hand in what we do, right? Biz and I are like ambassadors on social media, or like we're the voices and the faces, right? But Gaetano, the president, Peter, the vice president, Daniel Chop, he's our social media guy. He runs the Twitter and everything else. They all have their hand. They all have their part. They really did a lot of the work in getting this club meet together with all the other clubs. CBS only really confirmed that they were coming last Tuesday.
Wow.
It was like we had days to prepare for CBS. So it all really happened so fast. But to see the kind of turnout that we had, at that point, I was really worried about how CBS would see us, because I was like, I know there's going to be a lot of people, but I hope they like it, If we had known a little earlier in advance, I think I would have helped push it a little bit more too. But I got the confirmation on Tuesday night, and it was like that. And all I did was email. Actually, I spoke to Matteo Bonetti, and he gets back to me. Usually takes a couple of days. He got back to me right away and said, "Hey, give me a little while. Let me figure this out." 20 minutes later, he messages me and goes, "Camera crew and social media will be there Sunday." And I was like,
wow.
I was only trying to get them to consider us for a future meet. Thing is that we all got kind of hyped up when they announced the Milan Derby in Boston next week. They're going to be in Boston.
Yeah.
At a Milan spot, right? So we're all hyped up, like, we're the leaders of the city. Yeah, we should get on, blah, 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 blah. So all I did was tell Bonetti, like, hey, man, these guys to consider us. And I don't know how much pull he has. He's an on-air talent. But I'm like, maybe he can put the bug in someone's ear, and for him to come back 20 minutes later and say, hey, Sunday is the day we're going to be there, was absolutely shocking. And the way it came, and I was so nervous, man. All week I was nervous. But it couldn't have gone any better than it did yesterday. And we have got to do it again. We will do it again. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I wanted to ask you guys, how did this idea first come about? I know you guys quickly explained it before, but it was basically, was it the Tri-State Napoli Club that first brought about this idea? How did this come up? What's the history behind it?
It was. I'll chime in real quick. It was kind of as far as Tri-State, I think that was kind of like a really, really small grassroots movement. I mean, it was a topic that I think most of us spoke about anyway, especially the guys from like Connecticut, Jersey, and New York. Obviously, what makes up the Tri-State. And it really just started with a couple guys just watching the game in their houses and say, hey, let's start this group. And then it, little by little started progressing. They started having, they had a few more members, mainly their friends starting. And then they had a meet out in New Jersey, La Luna restaurant or something like that.
Yeah, Nutley, New Jersey. Yeah.
In Nutley, New Jersey. And then it kind of just grew from there. So like little by little by little, they started meeting up more, and somehow, I'm not sure if Ralph prompted it or if it was Gaetano. Serie A kind of got in contact with them, or vice versa, or what have you, and they were able to come, but they were looking for something a little bit bigger than what they were doing. So I think really the step one, I mean, I would probably be the meet at Ribalta that we did for Atalanta. Christine Cupo showed up, and a bunch of people again from like all over the tri-state ended up coming, and it was a really good time. It was I wouldn't say it was as packed, but it was packed. We did turn away people at the door because we just couldn't fit them in there.
Wow.
I think from there, though, people saw what was going on, and they're like, "Wow, we want to be a part of this as well." Because when you, it's like Field of Dreams. If you build it, they will come, right? And
Great line.
Right. And I think it was exactly that, Johnny. It's like if you do it, it starts with a couple guys. If you do it, they're going to, they'll follow. And I think that's what made this event a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it helps that Napoli's doing really well. It helps that it was against Roma, but it also helped. It was great that the guys from Canada came, and so in Washington and all these other places. So we were all able to kind of cross promote it And when that happens, it becomes a real thing. And I think from there, it was like, let's go, you know. And funny enough, after this one, I went on Twitter, you know, between like today and yesterday and last night. People are like, "Oh, I'm coming to the next one. I'm coming to the next one." So it's like, again, it's like you see it, it's there, and it's like, I want to be a part of this, and it just keeps.
What about the guy? What about the guy yesterday that was asking me, "Hey, how much to join? How much to?" We haven't gotten there yet. Like, we're not taking money from anyone to join the club.
I took $100 from him. I said, "Hey, I'll give you gold membership, $100." He's like, "All right, cool. I'll give you deals."
Put it in the back pocket.
Yeah.
No,
I gave him half off. It's a real Napoli Don thing to do.
There you go.
No, but it's free for anybody listening.
But no, guys. Yeah, there you go. No, but you know what? I was just I don't want to cut you off, Biz, but just to go off, you know, everybody's point that I've spoken, you can't fake the emotion. And I know Raffa said he was, you know, nervous all week. That's pure emotion that we saw yesterday, the lead up, aftermath, pure joy. You can't fake these types of things in the sport, and I'm glad to have seen it. You know, again, my team is not doing what I wanted to do, but to see my fellow neighbors, to see my fellow friends, my fellow, content creators, getting out there and getting together, it's really something that you can't fake. So I think no matter what, you want to say CBS said he has English page or what have you wanted or expected, I think they got even more than that, because this is real emotion. You can't, like I said, you can't fake that. You have guys coming from out of the state, out of the country, to get together. We have three of the big heavy hitters in the Napoli community, and they don't even know if they've seen anything like this. So it speaks volumes to what the meet actually was. And Carm, I know you have raised your hand. I don't know if you wanted to add anything before we kind of move along quickly. No.
If I may, really quick.
Yeah, go Raffa.
The goal here is to grow the awareness of the team, right? At one point, that's what it was. But the thing is that I think it's out there already. It just people don't know that there's a place for it, Mm-hmm. And I mean, I met so many people yesterday that I've only talked to online. Some people I don't even know come up to me saying things like, "I love your show. You guys are the reason I started podcasting. You guys are the reason I started this club. You guys are the reason I this, that." And it's like, some of them, I didn't even know who they were until later I find out, oh, that was this guy. Oh, that was that guy. Carm and I had met already in 2019 for a brief moment. And, then from there, he makes this club and they blow up the way they do. And it was impressive, very impressive. But yesterday, to be with all these people during this game and like to show our emotions all together, what just made me feel so good. Like, it's funny because Carm said to me yesterday, he was nervous that we wouldn't score a goal because all we wanted to do, Carm and I, was to do the Decibel Bellini chant together when we did score a goal, because he has taken that from when I did it in Miami when we were there to the club over there, and then I did it on the club here. So we're like, okay, we're the two, Decibel guys of the club, let's just say. So just even after when Roma scored, when we'll get to the game, but when Roma scored to make it 1-1 in the second half, I got real upset because I didn't want to lose, but it wouldn't have really done much in the standings. But I'm sitting there pissed because all this that we created, all this that we've organized and dreamt of is going to end in a draw, possibly a loss if they score again. And I'm like, I can't have that. So that's why I was so upset. And then when Carm told me, and this is a funny story, we'll get to that later, but when Carm told me, watch the goal right here, and we scored, when Simeone scored, I got up and we're sitting next to each other. I got up and I grabbed his face. I
started shaking it like a.
I swear, search for videos, like various videos that get posted. If you can find it, Search for the Simeone goal celebration. You can see I grabbed Carm's face and I started like shaking it because I'm like, the son of a bitch called it. And
He saw it on
that
Foot
was-
Mob. We found out later. That was the
I
thing.
found out later.
That's what
I
happened
found
to
out
Roma
later.
goal
He
for
saw
me
it
too.
on
I was like,
Foot Mob.
and then even your dad
But
was
no,
mad
it
at me.
didn't, but
Raff.
I didn't even think of that. But I didn't think, oh man, he must have seen it while it was happening because you're in the moment.
Oh my
And he's
God.
like, well, watch, there's a goal right here, watch. It's not like he said, I checked it.
I thought he had a
scored.
premonition. I thought he.
Yeah, that's what I thought. He goes, I can feel it. It's
Little
coming.
intuition.
Yeah.
But
Question though, did
just-
you shake his face like Billy Madison does to the kid?
Yes,
Like stay
yes.
here and never go back.
Stay here. But it was more aggressive. It was more Gattuso to Lippi when they won the World Cup. More something like that.
Yeah.
And it was just, when the final whistle blew, I was extremely emotional. And it was only match day 20. But when you think about it, this whole week journey that we've all been on, like it kind of culminated in that moment when the final whistle blew. And I lost it, man. I started crying. I started thinking of Gaetano's father who passed away not too long ago, that all he dreamed of was seeing another Scudetto with his dad. Then I started thinking about how my dream is to see a Scudetto with my dad before he goes, and how up until a couple of years ago, I didn't think it was ever going to happen. And then everything we've done as a collective unit all across North America to show our passion and to share our passion. It all came out of me last night. And it was just, and you guys know I'm an emotional guy. I've been on here and cried before.
Yeah.
But this
Rob
is
cries
this
everywhere.
That's
This
the
is-
beauty of it.
Guys,
it was a
I wanna-
beautiful event. It was beautiful.
I'm just gonna add to that, guys. Unfortunately, I hate to Napoli and run, but I do have to go soon, and I got to set up for the show. But I want to add
Absolutely.
one thing before I leave, which I think is important.
Absolutely.
You know, aside,
Yes.
The floor is yours, Bizz.
Just like for everybody out, because funny enough, like 2 days ago, whatever, there was a dude. His name's Victor. He's from Nigeria. Funny enough, no, yeah, Victor. Yeah, his name's Victor from Nigeria. I swear to God,
That's
you know, it's like,
Not that
apparently Victor in Nigeria is a very popular name. So, but his name is Victor, and he was hitting me up. He was asking me for help, how to grow his club, and da da da. So the message I want to bring out is that even if there's two of you in some random state in the United States or wherever in the world, to be honest, like honestly, you can be a Calcio fan anywhere in the world, and this goes across any squad. But if you want to start something, start it. Even if it's just two of you, that's all it takes, you know. And you build and you grow. It's a grind, you know. You have to be patient. I'm sure Carmine could way more of an expert on this than I am, considering what he's done, all the great things he's done with Napoli Club Toronto, and even what you guys have done with this show and what Raf and I have done with the Napoli Rant. It's a slow grind, but it's worth it. And it is a grassroots movement. And it's not just Napoli, but it's also Serie A that's kind of growing in North America, as well as South America. But don't give up. Keep working it. Enjoy those little gains, because that's the most important thing. That's what's going to get you to the next step. Show up to these things. Be a part of the community, be active, share, retweet. All those things help. All those things help us little guys, you know. So if you're out there listening and you have ambition to start a club, whether it be Napoli, whatever team, and there's only one of you, is it two of you, just do it. Doesn't matter. It'll grow, you know, build it and they will come. So like if you give people the space, they'll fill it up. But you know, that's all I wanted to say for that. There's so much to say, but I wanted to say thank you to you guys for always being a positive, you know, the Calcio Guys being a positive ambassadors to this sport, about always, you know, stressing the unification of fans. We can all root for different people and be friends. It's okay. You know, we don't have to take it to other
the title
levels.
of our show. Biz, that's
yeah,
the title of our show, you know? So,
Right.
That was
Right.
That was well
It's,
said.
you know, it could happen. You know, we had Anto from IFTV to me, big Milanista.
Yeah.
We have Gaetano, Marco's father, big Juventino. They all came out. When Kupo came, she had a good time. It doesn't matter. It's all about a good time, you know. So
Exactly.
keep on, guys, and keep your message always the same, Calcio Guys, because I think it's important, and I think it's something that we should stress. So, but I do have to run. I do have to get ready for tonight. I didn't want to miss this. I was like, even if it's a few minutes, I want to come on and say hi to you guys.
And we appreciate the fact that you came on just for those few minutes.
Yeah, thanks.
Because,
Yeah, we do appreciate it. On your way out, just leave $20 at the door for the Juventus recovery fund. And
I'll take it out the 100 that I'll take it out the 100 I charged that guy for the
No, but guys, definitely these guys have. Well, I know Bizz has to go, but we're gonna plug it before he does leave. Napoli Rant, they're live. I'm pretty sure every Monday, guys. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. It's every Monday night. All Napoli talk. Raff, it used to be the Raff and Raff Rant. Now the Napoli Rant with the two Raffs. Bizz, we appreciate your time, and we'll speak soon, Bello.
All right, guys. Raff, don't be late, okay? You guys,
we won't keep it too long.
Voice. We're all like hoarse voice right now. Forget it. Like there's not a Napoli down in North America with a full voice.
Biz,
save some of that.
I'll be home soon, baby. Leave the light.
All right, sweetheart. I'll have the tea with honey ready, okay?
All right.
I'll see you guys. Ciao, ciao, guys.